I'm very pleased to welcome today Mr. Ma Yangsong, who is the principal architect of MAD Architects from Beijing, China. Welcome to MIPIM.
Thank you.
Your firm is here at MIPIM, represented. What's your main interest in being here at MIPIM?
I'm here to give a speech on building innovation. I just finished the talk. I think it's interesting as a Chinese architect to come to Europe. We're trying to work here actually. We actually have 2 projects already in Rome and Amsterdam. And then we find it's interesting, it's different environment from the project in China. We found that's interesting, so we want to communicate more here.
It must be an exciting time to be in China, and particularly as an architect and involved in shaping the new landscape in China.
I think so. I think you get a lot of opportunity everywhere. We are young, as you can see. We're only 7 years old, the office, but we're already building more than 10 projects, and they're all big. They're shaping the cities in many major cities. So young people, you get a lot of opportunity. But at the same time, you get a challenge because China is making this progress of urbanization, but also China has history. Also, China has beautiful scenery, nature. So there's a challenge how you balance those things. Now, China building a lot of high-rise, and they're building like a North American type of city, and they think this is the image of modern life. But I think in China, I can see this is like they treating city as an image, not a life, because you have to have your life rooted into the culture, history, nature, so on. So I think we are trying to find a way to integrate the nature with a human life in the high density context.
When you approach a new project, are there things that you start with that are very important to you, maybe key principles that you work on and then you build on that, and what's the process that you go through in terms of developing the shape of what you want to build?
I think people who come to us already know what we are doing. So it's quite a smooth way to talk to people. But the way we talk is about how we feel about one project, about one location, about one culture. I think it's more about emotional react to the project. In that sense, everyone is equal, no matter how powerful, how rich, poor people, architects. So there's no client and professional, this kind of relationship. So we always discuss first. Then if we find we like each other, we do the project. Otherwise, we just skip.
Do you see, China has this tremendous and long history and this heritage, and yet you are very comfortable in exploring very modern, very, in some ways, experimental buildings. Where is that coming from? Why do you think that China in particular is very open to sort of very new forms of
building? I would say at the beginning, the openness of China is more like a political attitude. So they hire actually international architects to work in China, and those architects, they can design something they can never do in the West, but they can realize in China. So that's more about grandness of the project or power of the project. That's something I totally disagree. So that's why I think the next phase is to creating something for human, but has to belongs to the future. I think creating something new is important. That's something. That's the challenge, different from preserve the history. But the whole point to preserve the history, to study the history, is to go forward, for us to understand how to go forward.
What do you think, as a young Chinese architect, what do you think you can bring to architecture and to design in Europe, for example?
I don't really limit myself to be Chinese architect, but I am Chinese. I'm a young architect, same as many other young European architects, American architects. The young generation, they're supposed to do something experimental. They should see the challenge today. They should try new things. They should do innovative projects. I think that's a priority we have to facing. And then, as my personal interest, I grew up from Beijing, so I live in the courtyard before. In the city of Beijing, I feel I'm very close to the nature. I like the nature in a very emotional way. Like, I see green, but some green I hate, because they're just ugly. So I think green building is not about better material, high technology, or just putting some green in the tower. It's about how people have this emotional contact with the nature. So in the end, they feel they're part of nature. They love nature. They get inspired from the nature.
In your perspective, the big trends that you think are going to shape the future of architecture and the future of property development?
It's already, you can already see the trend that everyone talk about green, sustainable, but a lot of them still talking about technology. I think sustainable, it's a matter of, it's a moral issue more than technology issue. Because we all care about our kids. We all want a better future. But the problem of technology is it's a product, it's a commercial game, and will outdate it in 10, 20 years. But building will last longer than that. It's not a product. It's sometimes great building is timeless. Like, people will feel similar thing. They will be moved by architecture by generations. So I think we should find the deeper connection between the world and the human, and we show that in the artificial environment. I think that's the trend we should go. So I think this dialogue is super important here.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
We hope you've had a chance to enjoy a little bit of Ipum in Cannes. And thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you.